Hello YouTube, in this video I will unbox this ARB twin 12-volt compressor, review what's inside, install it on side of my homemade drawer system and then perform tire inflation test. Okay, so the compressor is pretty heavy and my first thought on this one is that it has to be pretty well mounted on something really solid. There is also user's manual installation guide to install the compressor. There is also yet another box inside the box and there are two air filters, one power loom, with 50 amp fuses and a connection to air compressor. There is also switch and it seems to be a switch from Carling Technologies. Okay, I appreciate that, ARB. And the last loom is the on-off loom and it is also for lockers. So it weighs 7.9 kilos, so exactly the same as Victron energy inverter. Before the installation, it is always super nice to read the user's manual, which they call installation guide. So this book is written entirely in English. It has 24 pages, like introduction, installing the compressor, connecting the air system, mounting and connecting the electrical system, testing and troubleshooting, and parts list. So this book, I'm sure, contains all the information that will be required for your own application of this compressor, because I'm sure that every application is probably a little bit different. So in my case, I am not going to use it for the differential lockers, because fortunately in G classes I have already them from a factory. So this one is going to be used only for tire inflation and for probably blowing dust away from inside the cabin. I've already read this instruction. There is plenty of information. There is that drilling template, which is nice and convenient to have. As example, I can show you there is electrical diagram over here, which is also super nice to have in case you will need to use this loom for differential lockers. As said, I am not going to use this one, but I am going to use this power loom. So this side to air compressor and on the other side 250 amp fuses. The biggest ground is 8 millimeters square cable and the biggest I terminal. Super small and thin cable ground and the smallest I terminal, and two 5 millimeters square power cables and a middle size I terminal for them. And those I terminals, they are not supplied within the package. Second loom is to control differential lockers, but fortunately, like said, I don't need this in my application, but I am going to need this third loom or just a piece of this loom. So from what I've investigated in this wiring diagram, what I need to do is I need to apply 12 volt to this purple cable. I'm not going also to use this Carling switch from ARB because I have foreseen situation of installing this ARB in my G, so I've already installed pretty a lot of those genuine Carling switches inside my central console panel. The last bit is to install air system. So I am going to use this angle 1/4 inch fitting to air compressor like so with the help of this Teflon tape. Now I am also going to use this air pressure regulator. You can see exactly the same in a video where I am building power bleeding tool. Then I have some air fittings like this, pretty standard ones, some air hoses, some standard clamps like so, and I am sure that this air compressor hits a lot, so I think it is pretty advisable to keep those hoses away from the unit itself. Last thing before the installation is that if you want to install it and if you imagine a plate over here somewhere in your vehicle, then you must have access to the bolts from the behind of the plate, and in my application I have no such access. So I made this aluminum plate like this. So this bolt pattern fits exactly air compressor, and now I can bolt this plate like here on my welding table. I am obviously going to add 8 screws over here, and now when you see from this side I have access to 8 bolts like so, and I can bolt it from front. I am going to install this compressor and regulator on aluminum side panel that is part of my drawer system that I designed from scratch, and then I built it by myself in previous videos. Basically this is a view from the tailgate. So these are 2 drawers, fridge, box, and the location of compressor is going to be over here. So those 2 highlighted boxes is going to be installation place.